Hello everyone, this is Sean, and this is my 1000 scale TOS Enterprise build. Now this is something I received on February 2nd of 2018, just a day before my 40th birthday. It was the first new model I'd received in approximately 25 years. So I couldn't resist. I took a look at all the parts of the model, including the saucer section and the secondary hull and the nacelle pieces and everything. And as you can see from the instructions, you could build 3 different versions of the ship: first pilot, second pilot, and production version, and it had all the parts for them. Now there wasn't much difference, as you can see on the decal markings, between the first and second pilots. It's basically just the colored bands along the top side of the saucer, black for the second pilot and clear for the first pilot. So there's the connected saucer section, both top and bottom, including the clear sensor domes. They would get painted later. And here's the nacelle. That's the port nacelle, because you can't. There's the starboard nacelle. You can tell by the inner trench. And here is the saucer section and the nacelles all assembled. And then, of course, I took them apart to put them on their struts, and then I had to put the clear domes back in place once I'd colored one of them red with the bronze antenna spikes in place. Now, of course, I don't think I'd learned to prime yet, so I was hand painting with the gold and the bronze, or the antique bronze that I got from Walmart. And of course, used clothespins to attach everything together while the glue set. Now, and you can see it from multiple angles. And I made sure they're level by putting them that way. You can make sure that the nacelles are level. Yeah, and of course I took pictures from all 4 angles, because at that time when I was building the model, I didn't think of videotaping. I wouldn't think of videotaping them for another 3.5 years. And then I took them onto the cedar chest and got the same pictures once the glue had set and you didn't need the clothespins anymore. So now you can see everything all together. And that's, you can tell those are the first pilot end caps because of those ridges. And there it is assembled. This is more like a fit test to make sure that everything was working. Now, you see how those nacelles sag? That will come into play a bit later, because my friend Zach helped me realize that I'd put the nacelles on the struts in backwards. He helped me put the struts on in the proper angle so the nacelles would no longer sag. As you can see in this side picture, see, they're straight and level and parallel with the saucer once again. Now, just to make sure, I took a picture of it from the back. Looks a bit like the Constellation from Doomsday Machine at that angle, starboard side. And then, of course, you have the, now that's interesting. Remember how it was standing upright when it was just a secondary hull? Saucer made it lean to the left. Never could figure out why. But there's a close-up view of the saucer. There's a side view of the port side. So that's really good. And then you have, okay, this is where I started hand painting. I used my Tamiya masking tape to mask off what I didn't want to get wrecked. Then, of course, the nacelle struts, and you see, that's how I colored everything separately, including the strut end caps. And then I started slowly hand painting with, well, I think it was folk art steel gray? Yeah, a lighter brownish gray, which is what the Smithsonian restoration of the Enterprise looked like. There you go. There it is with the Botany Bay attached. Botany Bay hasn't been painted yet. There, I started painting it with the silver anniversary color and the Botany Bay. And yes, I noticed belatedly Oh no, a fingerprint smudge. Of course, you can't see it on the starboard side, but somehow the weather vane went missing right away. And here you go, priming the ship. Because my friend Zach had taught me how to prime. You'll see that on model number 5, the 1000 scale refit, which I did up in 24th century colors, but that's a video for another week. There you go. Everything's white, including the stand and the botany bay, so that's primer white. I guess I must have attached the end caps later of the nacelles, or the front domes. And then, of course, I primed it again, or made it a base color, with Krylon Chrome. Look at that. See? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The way it shines in light. And then, of course, you had to get all the beauty shots of the ship on the cedar chest again. And again, just like you saw when it was assembled, somehow it is still leaning to the left on its stand. But, I mean, it doesn't fall off, as you can see, and the nacelles are still perfectly aligned, and everything is pretty well in place. Now, this was the first model that I assembled almost all by myself. I primed and painted it all by myself because my friend Zach had taught me how to spray paint on the 1000 scale refit. So don't judge me too harshly, please, because this is my first solo model build, and indeed almost my first model build in 25 years, because this model was not primed till after the thing. And you can see the blue neck from there. And look, it's on its stand steady now. It's not leaning. That's good. That's taken at Zach's house. And there's a further away aft shot as well. So that's good. That's good. We're getting there. And then back on the cedar chest again. I'm trying to see the difference between then and now. It must be the sensor dish. Maybe the nacelle struts too. I sure took a lot of pictures. Oh, you see how the deflector dish is crooked. Don't worry, I fixed that later. And there's the aft nacelles again. What's the next picture? Okay, port side. All right, after this, I started decals. Starting with the Enterprise registry and those decals on the bottom of the star drive. And I don't know, did the primer mess up or something? I had to do more, so it's still pretty good. Look at that. Yes, yeah, so that's good. You can see the blue hatch cover for the Impulse. And this one I experimented with the colors, didn't try and make it screen accurate because it was my first build, hence the metallic accents. But still, there's not much left. Now, here it is in Quebec. You see the sticker, you see the gold, you see the registries. Along the nacelles, along everything. Now, this was my... Yeah, it took almost 3 years working on it off and on to get all the decals on the ship, everything in place. Port and starboard navigation lights, of course, red and green respectively. And I know, you see the missing sensor dish? I mean, the missing planetary sensor? It somehow popped out inside the sealed saucer and rattled around, and I tried to put a spare one in. It didn't work either. You can see the metallic colors for the landing leg hatches, but I think those are actual decals. Unlike the Strange New Worlds Enterprise First Edition, they're actually aligned correctly. Now, I put that mat down on the dining room table so that I wouldn't damage the ship against the hull. Yes. And I think we're getting close to whatever image I'm going to pick as the thumbnail. So I got angles of just the saucer all the way around. And then you see the starboard side of the nacelles with the blue grill, because it's kind of like a 24th century thing. Didn't know it then, but I was kind of predicting the way that the Strange New Worlds Enterprise would look with its inner blue grills, although they're not segmented like that ship. This is the probable thumbnail. You can see my apartment in the background. And the starboard side again with the metallic trim. Everywhere there would be dark gray, it's metallic trim. There's the back of the ship. Haven't painted the ends of the nacelles blue yet, but there they are now, ice metallic blue. You can see the Enterprise C. That'll show up in a later video. There's a close-up view of the window decals and the final touches on the top of the saucer. So that's the 1000 scale TOS Enterprise. See you later.